Hi, my name is Sky, and I was watching Book TV, and they're having a November discussion about illegal immigration in the United States and what they thought was really going on. And it's also they decided to go with actually pretty elite panel. They said, all right, we have a person here who can reference the sociological, we have a person here who can reference the economic, we have a person here who can reference the the political, and even like something of the gender, but also of the school and stuff. And the way they described it was, or one of the best examples used by this guy Jorge Castenada, I believe, or it was probably this other guy, was that people have this Peter Pan thought of Mexican immigrants, and what that means is that the Mexican immigrant walked across the border into the United States, and he has no skills, and he barely speaks Spanish, or he may understand some English, but he probably only speaks Spanish, and he's all he's got is the clothes on his back. And so what happens, then? And it's like, well, he stays that way perpetually, the same. And it's like, no, that's not the case. That as people come over, they can start with nothing, but eventually they're gonna enter into society. They're gonna start acquiring things, and then eventually they move into the middle class. Or it's possible that they'll be in that case. And he also said that as far as like integration into society and really like understanding the language, it's like first generation, yeah, they may never be able to speak English, understand English. And I had a babysitter, when I grew up, who, oh my God, man, I'm surprised I didn't learn Spanish, living with that woman, but I really, it's she spoke Spanish, and I could just, I really couldn't understand it, but I could speak English to her, and she could understand me. Uh, and it was, that's, she's that way today. The it's okay, but look at the children. How are the children? Well, let's see, of the sons, one, two married white women, or the girl married a white man. One of the sons married a white woman, and I think, yeah, it's just integration into society. And they're fluent, in both languages, which is a plus, because guess what? You can now, that's a skill set you can bring to a job, and you can have like real important jobs, So it's like, and one's a lawyer, it's like, heck yeah, and one's a technician too. So it's amazing that you can just have that thing about it. There's something else that I realized too, and on my own, is that because I grew up on the border and heard variations of English spoken, I can understand a lot of different English. Elizabethan, it's a little, for whatever reason, I have to drink a beer and just kind of let myself go, then I can understand it. But anyways, I can understand people with southern drawls, and black people too, which is some interesting effect that some white people can't understand some black people. And it depends, like in this, it's a real ethnic sort of enunciation. So it's like it sounds like the person's mumbling, is what one person described it, and that's for this one guy, Will O'Neill. But I don't know, it's something interesting because I noticed that in the Army as well. But anyways, the idea of sorry, scatological. But the idea that this Peter Pan of the illegal immigrant, that he walks across the border and he's going to stay that way. It's like, no, it's just to become part of it. I think that is a really good way to look at the issue. And then another guy brought up a great idea, or a great thing, that do you realize that kids are essentially black holes, in the economy? Because you don't really know what the kids are going to consume. They don't produce anything. They don't contribute to society, except that they're taking money away from the producers, putting it into the consumers. That's why that's part of the reason, like, why piracy, music piracy, and video piracy amongst teenagers is like, it's like they want to create this legal service, and The government's really encouraging the internet, to develop something, you can imagine. Um, but that could be why the internet's holding back on taxing, the internet just now. But anyways, the uh, uh, Mexico is outsourcing its citizens to the United States. Uh, there's a lot of places in society where just very cheap, basic ass labor, and it's just the dregs of the labor pool is going to go to a certain proportion of the population, and I'm becoming really aware of this as I've moved to a new location. That's there's who are the working class of people? The Hispanics, the guys who come from Mexico, and it's shocking to me, and but it's interesting, because back home these are my neighbors, these are people I grew up with, so I tell people I'm a burrito, so, but anyways, the when the Mexican, who comes across the border, appears in the American economy, he's already ready to contribute to the labor force. He'll take the jobs and he'll put money into the economy. And because he's illegal, you can't rely on a bank. So he's basically he's got spending cash on him, or he's got it tucked away somewhere. But basically, that's something else. The guys are going to live poor because they can't utilize the facilities of that everybody else is using. So the way I look at immigration, by the way, is just economics. I don't have any, I'm not trying to put any political notion this way or that, but economically, and this is the way, also, everything, the only thing certain in life is death and taxes. So I want to make sure everybody pays their taxes because I don't want to pay any more than my fair share, because I could use a break if you ask me. But if you integrate people into society, that means that they can be recognized by the government, so certain services can be allowed to them. And because of the free market, they can choose, okay, well, I'm going to work with this insurance company for my car. I'm going to have this life insurance company. I'm going to have this health insurance company. I'm going to have this this banking, and with its own sort of insurance. And so that, I'm going to have all these different things which I can freely choose, and they're in a way it's kind of guaranteed to me. But if you are not a legal citizen, it's not guaranteed to you. You cannot participate, because things like Social Security number, and legal residence, come into place. So it's amazing that 11, 12 million people are living in the country. Where are they legally residing? Who are the landlords? Are these where are these people living? Well, they're living right next door to you, in some respect. It's just it's very shocking to me to see a very negative impact in the culture and just people in general. Just it's like, well, what do you think of legal immigration? It's just like a very negative response out of people. It's like, come, this is not America, but that all these little Mexican kids, basically, in the United States. And I mean, and by the way, when I say Mexican, it's kind of a throwback thing because, well, if you go to school and you have the light skin, you have the dark skin, what's the primitive kid, understanding? Oh, Mexican, and that's what, if you ask them, that's what they would say, it's just, that's who you are, and, if you were born, it didn't matter, like, where, what generation you were, too, it's just kind of what you identify. Something else is that, they become white kids, there's no differentiation. It's just, it depends on where they were born.